Hey everybody, thanks for watching. This video is about how state governments and the central government work together to get things done. After watching this video, you should be able to examine areas of cooperative federalism. So if we need to examine areas of cooperative federalism, we need to start with, what is cooperative federalism? Well, instead of the central government and all the state governments each making individual policies, cooperative federalism is where national, state, and local governments interact and collectively solve common problems. So how do the state governments and the national government work together? Well, it has to do with money. See, the central government will help states perform tasks like build infrastructure, provide social programs, or even, as the Constitution says, promote science and useful arts. The federal government can do those things by providing money in the form of what is called grants and aid. So let's answer the question, what are some of the growing areas of cooperative federalism? The answer, grants and aid programs, which are grants of federal money or other resources to states, cities, counties, and other local units. So what's really happening in cooperative federalism is that the central government is sharing resources, usually money, with the states, and those states can use the resources to accomplish tasks. For our purpose for this video, you can think of the word grant as just another word for money. Here's a visual of how this works. Let's say the fine citizens in northern Texas had a tornado rip through their community. The federal government might send aid to Texas to help those Texans rebuild after the storm. Later on, citizens in Florida were given federal money to build more miles of interstate. I mean, you got to get to Disney World, right? Or better yet, St. Augustine. In California, there's a scientist that wants to study the effects of warmer Pacific temperatures on birds. After writing a compelling request for a federal grant, the central government awarded the scientist the money to conduct her research. And in Maine, public schools receive grants as long as they show that they are promoting diversity and using innovative teaching practices. All of these scenarios of money flowing from the central government to the states are examples of grants and aid. So, there are three types of grants and aid. The first is a block grant. A block grant is where the central government gives money to a state for some broadly defined purpose. Block grants allow the states quite a bit of discretion in deciding how they want to spend that grant money. For example, a block grant is the grant that is offered by the Office of Weatherization and Intergovernmental Programs. This grant is given to an organization for doing things that improve energy efficiency. Good for them. I'm all about it. I love energy efficiency. The next type of grant is a categorical grant. A categorical grant can only be used for something in a specific category. Categorical grants can come with strings attached. That means the federal government can incentivize the states to do things that states might otherwise not do. If the states don't do what the federal government wants, fine, but the states won't get their categorical grant. For example, if states want to get federal money for their highways, they have to make the age to purchase alcohol 21. Since a person has to be 21 to purchase alcohol in all 50 states, I'd say that categorical grant is pretty effective. The final type of grant is a project grant. A project grant is given for an extremely specific purpose and is based on project merits. To get a project grant, a person needs to apply. An example would be when scientists at a university get a National Science Foundation grant to study the territorial behavior and population dynamics in the common loon. You might be wondering, what is a common loon? And you better not be thinking that, well, that's Luperel. No, but apparently that's a common loon, or at least that's what Google says. And for these purposes, Google's good enough for me. Here's a joke. What did the thief say when he stole his favorite Lincoln biography from the local library? I better book it out of here.